What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock. And I enjoyed reconnecting with the Cheshire Cat CD the other day when I reacted to Carousel, and so I want to go through the whole album. There's one or two tunes that I maybe don't view as fondly as all the rest, but it really is a fantastic album from top to bottom, so we'll just go through the whole thing. And yeah, the next tune, the second tune on the album, and indeed I've always enjoyed the cheeky, silly photo on the back of the, cutout. In any case, we're going to listen to M&M's, and this tune, when I got this CD, I remember, I was hanging out with a number of friends, only a couple of whom were also into punk rock. And so there were a couple other friends of mine who would end up hearing, music that I was listening to, whether, in my car eventually, although at this point I wasn't yet driving. But the point is, some of my friends who weren't super into punk mentioned that they enjoyed this song. So I felt like this song was kind of like the hit of the album, and I don't know how universal that assessment would be. Again, maybe that was just among a group of my friends, but this was the tune that I remember a number of folks saying, oh man, they are a good band, who's that again, what CD is that? So yeah, this is M&M's. The first track was written and sung by Tom DeLonge, and the other, or DeLong, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this one is the first written and sung by Mark Hoppus. And yeah, I would say, I think they're both good songwriters, and indeed, someone commented on the reaction to Carousel, and they were saying that, they don't get enough credit for this album, notably for the songwriting. He was saying, essentially, the production may not be up to the level that they would get to later, but the songwriting was there from the beginning. I fully agree, and I did look into it. The Buddha was an EP, meaning this was their first proper album. But in any case, I would say Mark's songs do tend to focus more on relationships and emotional situations. This one has a bit of a silliness to it, although it is more or less straight away. It sounds devotional. He just really wants to spend his time with this person. But there's other tunes on the album, including the next one, also written and sung by Mark, that there's a bit more of a complexity to them in terms of the interpersonal or relationship dynamic going on. So again, this one is a bit straight away and maybe a bit funny or silly in a couple of the lines, including we'll get in my car and drive to Madagascar, which I'm pretty sure you can't do unless you have an underwater car. But yeah, the guitar riff in this one I think is a particularly fantastic riff, so shout out to Tom for the riff. But here we go. This is Blink-182. The track is M&M's, and it's the second tune on their 1994 album, Cheshire Cat.
Should get away for a while. I just wanna be alone with your smile. Buy some candy and cigarettes and we'll get in my car. We'll blast the stereo and we'll drive to Madagascar. Because when I'm with you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. I just wanna be your only one. I'm grasping at straws, back to what I saw that night before we were all alone.
In fact, this one's more complex, actually. I'll wait till the end,
My love life was getting so bland. There are only so many ways I can make love with my hand. Sometimes it makes me want to laugh. Sometimes I want to take my toaster in the bath. Because when I'm with you, there's nothing I wouldn't do. I just want to be your only one. I'm grasping at straws, thinking back to what I saw that night before we were all alone.
was wrong. I was remembering this as like just kind of the straight away part. I love it does roll right into the next track, which is called Fintoozler. And I'll talk more about that. I don't know what a Fintoozler is. I never have. But yeah, this is actually more complex than I was remembering, because it sounds like he hooked up with this girl that night when they were on the floor all alone and so on. But then it sounds like after that, he was very smitten, and she has been maybe less committed, or at least, non-committal to the idea of them dating. And then it sounds like it's because there's another guy in the equation, and so he's realizing that, like, I just want to get back to where we were, and, like, I'll do anything to do that. I just, I love spending time with you. I hope I'm not the odd man out. I don't want to be the odd man out. So, in the end, this is going to come to a head, and you're going to choose. And if you choose him, then this is the end. If you choose me, then you'll be my new girlfriend. So there's it's like a very singular moment in time. It's like post a significant development, but like pre any sense of clarity from his point of view. So yeah, ultimately, it's another type of song that I think a lot of people in relationships can identify with. I will say I've been on both sides of that. I was in a situation where I realized after I fully started dating this girl that she had been seeing me and this other guy, and apparently I won out. But I've also been in another situation where I was seeing a woman, and then it felt like she was getting a bit more distant, and then we just, it sort of fell apart. And then a couple months later, she's very publicly dating this other guy, and it's well, that was obviously the issue. So I have been not the odd man out, and I have been the odd man out. So I appreciate the he doesn't really know where the chips are going to fall, and he's hoping that it's in his direction. He really enjoys this person's company and wants to get back to that connection that they had, but ultimately the ball is in her court, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. So yeah, again, I remembered a couple others. Fintoozler is a good example. Yeah, I may come right back and react to that. I was going to do this a little more slowly, and I am going to do a Bad Religion reaction in the same batch for any of the punk folks like Polly who may be watching this. But yeah, Fintoozler is an interesting one lyrically, so I think I will come straight back and react to it. So yeah, let me know what you think, and the little Luca and I will see you momentarily for more from this album. Cheers.